Will Joe Biden pardon himself?
Mr. Reagan.
All right, before we start, I've got a great new sponsor for the show, Gold Co. If you want to diversify your portfolio, protect your savings, safeguard your retirement, try investing in gold with Gold Co. Go to MrReaganLikesGold.com or call 844-696-GOLD or click on the link in the description below. The Hunter Biden blanket pardon came as a shock to absolutely no one. At least no one who pays attention to these things. But what a disgusting miscarriage of justice. Joe Biden has here spit in the face of the American people. He spit in the face of the rule of law in America, and he has completely undermined the integrity of the office of the president. Now, there is some speculation as to how the pardon came about, with Dan Bongino reporting that Hunter actually blackmailed his own father.
Hunter Biden's lawyer has been quietly threatening Dad the entire time. You give us a pardon or we're about to lay waste to you. In a book, in testimony, whatever we got to do.
Now, maybe this is what happened, maybe not. But in any case, there is some speculation that such a pardon may actually be a poison pill for Joe Biden, as his son may no longer be able to invoke Fifth Amendment protection in any investigations about his corrupt dealings in Ukraine or China or in any other case. And so he may be compelled to testify against his own father.
So what Joe has issued is a blanket pardon. Basically, he's given Hunter Biden immunity for everything that started when he joined Burisma 10 years ago up until now. However, if you've been granted immunity, the Fifth Amendment no longer applies. You cannot incriminate yourself when you've been granted blanket immunity over everything you did from ant to ant. Therefore, Hunter Biden can now be forced to testify against the big guy. And this is where Joe totally screwed the pooch legally on this. The immunity gets rid of that Fifth Amendment. So now when they ask Hunter Biden, they put him on the stand, if they do, and they ask, how much money did you launder through Ukraine to your dad? And he says, I'm taking the Fifth. The judge can compel him to testify because he is immune from prosecution on that. And if he still refuses to testify, he can hold him in contempt and he can put him in jail until which point he decides to testify. Good one, Joe, proving you're still a complete idiot.
Now, there are two more twists in this already twisted tale. Plus, I do want you guys to watch to the end of this video because I'm also going to present to you the Mr. Reagan original spin on all of this. And I'll get to that in one moment. First, of course, I have to sell you something. Donald J. Trump is officially the next president of the United States of America. While millions of Americans are rejoicing in the victory, thousands of others are still concerned about their savings. The unfortunate truth is, we still have $35 trillion in debt. The interest on that debt is now larger than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. Plus, the wars that started under Biden are still raging across the globe. So what can you do to help protect your savings? Many Americans are already taking action by reaching out to the top-rated precious metals company, Gold Co. Right now, Gold Co. is offering a free gold and silver kit to show you how precious metals like gold and silver could help you diversify your savings before it's too late. Visit MrReaganLikesGold.com or call 844-696-GOLD to get your copy free of charge. Plus, you can receive up to a 10% instant match-on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Visit MrReaganLikesGold.com or call 844-696-GOLD. That's MrReaganLikesGold.com or call 844-696-GOLD. So the blanket pardon for Hunter was truly sickening to all of us who care about justice. But it actually gets worse. It's now being reported by Politico that Joe Biden is considering preemptively pardoning a variety of people in his administration. Preemptive. Again, like Hunter, if any crime is found to have been committed by any of these people, they would not be able to be prosecuted. It's like a corruption bonanza in DC at the moment. Honestly, it is completely absurd. The names listed by Politico specifically were Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, and Anthony Fauci, but I suspect the list will be a lot longer than that. And here's where things get really messed up. A lot of people expect that before his term is out, Joe Biden is going to pardon himself. And he's going to do so with the same blanket pardon as he used to pardon his son. Basically, anything that he's done that's corrupt or criminal, he gets off scot-free with this self-pardon. And you know what? Yeah, of course he's going to do this, or something like it, because he's got to. This guy betrayed the American people for his own personal financial gain. Personally, I think that this is the worst kind of crime, because while certain violent crimes seem to be more acutely vicious, of course, crimes by public officials, it violates the public trust. These politicians, they leverage the absolutely immense power that we give to them in order to get rich. And they do so at the expense of the very people who entrusted them with that power, the American people. This is a sick, twisted kind of crime, and we must do everything that we can to dissuade anyone else of ever doing anything like this in the future. We must send a clear message. If you are given great power and great responsibility by the American people, and you use that great power and responsibility to corruptly enrich yourself at the expense of the American people, you will go to prison. Period. Joe Biden must be held accountable for his crimes. But there is a ray of hope here. Hunter Biden's blanket pardon may be unconstitutional. That is, if there is a legal challenge to this pardon, the courts may deem it unconstitutional, which would nullify the pardon and expose Hunter to potential prosecution for his many alleged crimes. And the same would go for all of Joe Biden's potential blanket pardons, including his own. And listen to this, it gets even better, guys. Because a self-pardon has never been tried in American history. And in 1974, the Department of Justice's Office of Legal Counsel concluded that a president cannot pardon himself under the fundamental rule that no one may be a judge in their own case. In other words, Joe Biden cannot pardon himself. All right, now here is the Mr. Reagan original spin on all of this. I suspect that Joe Biden might actually step down before his term is up. So then Kamala steps in as the president, and as would be agreed upon as a condition of his resignation, Kamala would then issue the same blanket pardon that Joe issued Hunter. So now Joe's pardoned everyone that could possibly incriminate him, and he himself has also been inoculated against the fair application of justice. This would, of course, be a travesty, a total miscarriage of justice. And so it is exactly what I expect the Democrats to do. I floated this idea on X, and a few people responded that probably won't happen because it would be the end of the Democrat Party. But here's the thing. The Democrat Party is already in shambles, and the few gullible Americans who are still convinced that the Democrats are the good guys, they will basically believe anything that MSNBC tells them. And what MSNBC is telling them right now is that Biden's pardons are being used as a shield against the corrupt weaponization of the judiciary by the evil Trump administration. And of course, their double-digit IQ viewers actually believe the agitprop. So no, it would not be the end of the Democrat Party because the more gullible 50% of the country still stubbornly insist on believing everything MSNBC tells them. Evil never dies, ladies and gentlemen. It just fades a little sometimes. Trump won, and we all took a deep breath, a moment's respite in the midst of a great war. But we can never put down the sword and shield. We must stay vigilant and keep fighting on. Well, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And remember, it's not that liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much. That is not so. Good night.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.